Well, welcome back to our live at Wimbledon interactive studio. I'm Annabelle Croft, alongside the seven-time Grand Slam champion Mats Wilander and Craig O'Shaughnessy, who's here to look back at the first of the quarterfinalists that was completed between Roger Federer and Gilles Simon. Of course, Roger through to his 37th Grand Slam semi-final. Craig, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, he played a very good match. There was nothing that was outstanding from Roger, and nothing that was terrible. He took care of business out there and really just kind of owned the serving game, owned the returning game, was solid from the back of the court and came in. I want to look at where Roger served. So as we go towards the semis against the winner of the Murray match, he hit in the wide serves and center serves. He hit 34 serves out wide for the match. He hit 32 down the center. So it's almost a dead even mix. For the tournament so far, in the deuce court, 66 out wide, 65 down the middle.
Wow.
In the ad court, 56 down the middle, 53 out wide. So it's extremely even. I analysed his serve patterns at the 2010 Australian Open. The last four matches there against Hewitt, Davydenko, Tsonga and Murray, he was actually 50% out wide, 25% down the tee and 25% at the body. So it's showing you what the grass courts are doing. He's hitting the corners more and going far less at the body.
Wow, do you think that's because, Mats, he's up against Gilles Simon and that was just the right tactic to play against him? Why do you think he would have done that?
Well, I think you want to create a little bit more of an angle on grass because you don't have to hit such a great shot. If you can get the angle, the ball skids through a little bit, it stays low, and it's really hard to defend against that. So again, keeping the ball down the middle as a defensive tool is really good. But when you get an opportunity, I think you want to sort of bring your opponent out of the court.
Yeah, exactly.
OK, I think we've got some analysis to bring in. I think we've got Simon serving for the start of it, but let's take a look at this. And what have you made of what you saw out there from Gilles Simon?
Well, from a serving pattern, he served 71% over to Roger's forehand. Actually, Roger made 71% of the forehand returns and 83% of his backhand returns. So you would think, well, with the 83% being higher, I don't really want to serve there as much. But that's not the number that matters the most. The number that matters the most is return points won. So Roger was winning 46% of the backhand return points, but 63% of the forehand returns. So it was, you can see there, very nice tactics, running around, hammering the backhand, getting in. But Roger is starting to become Roger again.
Yeah, the absolute master at defence, but turning it into attack as well. And, well, go on, Craig, you carry on.
Yes, for the tournament so far, Roger's up at 55 forehand winners, 25 backhand winners. I love that first volley behind there. You know, it's just a really good play at all levels of the game. If you can't put the ball away around the service line, you take it behind, and quite often what comes next is a lob. Good defensive forehand there, and Roger's really looking for forehands here at the championships, prowling the baseline. May have even come in on that one if it didn't hit the net, and there it is again. That's what makes Roger Roger.
It seems when we're watching the points here from Roger, Mats, as if it's very fast and furious tennis from Roger Federer. Not willing to sort of go the long haul in some of these points. I mean, just pulling the trigger so early on in the rallies.
He's so aggressive, and obviously he loses that point, but he slipped a little bit. But he's so aggressive this year at the championships, and especially off the forehand side. Of course, he's serving beautifully, but it's the forehand side, I think, and he's really trying to step into the forehand. There's a time in the last couple of years where he's been hitting a lot of open stance forehands, and I know Stefan Edberg doesn't necessarily like that play. He likes him to step in and get his body weight through the forehand as well. And when he does, then he can really control it with a fast wrist or fast arm through the ball as well.
There, we see him serving and volleying now. For the tournament, he's done it 35 times on first serves. He's actually done it 16 times on second serves.
Oh.
So a nice little note for all of you at home going to play a club match in the next few days. Sneaking in on a second serve is working on centre court at Wimbledon. How
interesting. And is that because, Mats, do you think that obviously he's going to be playing against the Brit in the semi-final. But do you think that the return of serve hasn't been good enough against Roger for him to be able to do those serve volleys on the second serves as well as the first? Because normally players take big rips at the return of serve, don't they?
I think it's just him asking a question to his opponent. So listen, if you play too defensively on my second serve, I'm going to come in. Maybe they have been ripping the returns for a few second serves in a row, and then suddenly he decides, well, you know what, I might as well come in, because maybe they see me run in and they might take their eye off the ball, and then they might miss hit it and miss the return. But it's not necessarily, again, to win that point. It's more to disturb the rhythm of the returner, I think.
Mats, what I'll also do is I'll have a look at the score when he's doing that, because quite often a 40 love, a love 40, those kind of score lines will lend themselves to a little surprise play and coming in and attacking.
Absolutely.
Well, there's a beautiful slow-mo of that Roger Federer backhand, which has improved vastly during the course of his career. Of course, that was the side that everyone targeted, wasn't it, Mats, at the start of his career? And he said so many people played on it. He's improved it enormously. It's no longer a weakness.
Yeah, no, and I think I remember when Stefan started working with Roger, a funny thing in Australia was that he talked about his backhand, and he didn't think that Roger should be tilting his racket head up as much on the backswing. He wanted him to get the racket head down a little bit quicker behind him, so to speak, and then that way he can deflect the ball. But we saw that backhand there. He gets the racket head down below it. But I think, again, this is what's going to win Roger Federer his 8th Wimbledon. Is coming forwards, playing aggressive tennis, disturbing the rhythm of his opponent, and he's going to have to do that against Andy Murray and possibly Novak Djokovic as well.
Yeah.